Hey guys, Jason Nickel here. We are going to go over the skip trace data that is returned. We've recently updated this, and so I want to go over it with everyone here so you understand exactly what it is that you're getting. I think you guys are going to be really happy about this. So we're going to go column by column so there's no confusion here. So full name is obvious, as is first and last name. Mail address, city, state, zip. Property address, city, state, zip. Custom 1, 2, and 3. Those are the columns that you can upload prior to skip tracing that will transfer through. So let's say you want to include some specific identifying information about the prospects that you might have that you want to carry through. Maybe it's an APN number, maybe it's a county or something. I don't know what it would be, but you have 3 different options here to carry custom information through. Next, we go to the validated mailing address. We run your data through a validator, right? And this is the validated mailing address. Most of the time, it's going to come back as being the same as the mailing address, but this has been validated. So if you're going to mail the entire list, you'd want to use this column if you're mailing the entire list. Okay. Next up, we've got vacant. Okay, this is the USPS designation of whether or not the property is vacant. How accurate is this? I don't know. It's different. It's different for each market. That's up to you guys to figure out whether or not this is valuable to you, but this is a good place to start. Let's say maybe you just want to sort your data, and I don't know if there's any vacants in here or not. There's one. So maybe you want to start by cold calling just the vacant properties. This is a small list, right? So that's why there's only one vacant property. Do what you will with that information. Moving on, we got phone. This is always going to be your most accurate column of phone numbers, always. And our data is extremely accurate, high quality phone data. So if you're gonna target people using the first column of phone numbers. Phone type. Thank you, phone. Phone type is obvious too, mobile, residential, VoIP, and also when it was last seen. Do what you want with that information. Same thing with phone 2 and phone 3. So that's all self-explanatory there. Moving on. We have emails, 3 different emails, and also when they're last seen. Do what you want with that information. Okay. One thing to keep in mind, anytime we bill you, we're only billing you for hits, but a hit could be any piece of this information that I'm presenting to you here. So if it only comes back with an email and no phone number, we're still billing you for a hit. There's no way for us not to do that because we're getting charged for it. But we're only charging for hits, unlike many other providers out there. Here's a cool one. All right, moving on. Golden address. What is the golden address? The golden address is an address that our system found that has been updated. It's basically the updated mailing address that every other investor does not have. Okay, so if you're going to mail, I don't like mailing, but if I were to mail, I'd only mail the golden addresses, right? So instead of mailing 2,000, I might mail 17, right? Because other investors don't have this address. You do. You've got the updated. This is the most recent address, and you can even see when it was last seen, right? This is recent updated data that you need to use to your advantage. So this golden address is huge. Cut down your mailing costs and just mail the golden address, and you're going to be hitting people that no one else is hitting. New stuff that we've added, new data points, date of birth. Okay, this is an approximate date of birth. Use this information responsibly however you want to, but we give you the approximate age through that. Whether or not the prospect is deceased, there's also going to be, if they are deceased, there's going to be a date here as well indicating as such. Bankruptcy, same thing. There's a date showing that they declared bankruptcy and when that was. Whether or not that's relevant or not, that's up to you guys to use. More recent bankruptcies obviously are going to be more relevant than someone who filed 15 years ago. So use that information however you want as well. And now, next we've got relative information. I don't know who this person is in relation to that, but I know that they're related. And I know that we've just given you now 3 more phone numbers to dive deeper, trying to contact the prospect if you need to. Okay. And then we do that with 2 relatives, right? So we're giving you 2 different relatives with 3 phone numbers each. So now you're not going to want to load all these into Sherpa. I mean, you can if it's a different kind of campaign and you can't get in touch. Maybe it's a deceased campaign, right? Maybe you would want to load up the relatives rather than pushing over your campaign into pushing over your skip trace from the skip trace tab into the campaign. Maybe if it's a deceased or a probate campaign, you want to export it out and then import just the relative information. That's one option there. And then of course the last thing is whether or not the record is new or existing in your account. We don't charge for existing records, right? So that's another way for you to save money. And this is just that indicator at the end. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys. I think that you'll all see the huge value that we've added to our skip trace platform here. At this time, we are not increasing pricing. We've got some ideas on the horizon on how to maybe adjust pricing, but for now, this is not going to change or affect the cost of this data for anybody in the system.